Hello, 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 everybody. Good day, good people. So I'm Latoya, and we have, you gonna say who you are?
Julian.
Then, all right. So we are the experts over at Trucker Jobs USA, you guys. We just coming on today. Real quick, we want to talk about some CDL news, give you some insight on what's popping in the CDL world, and things of that nature. Want to thank y'all for tuning in first and foremost. Are we gonna be saying that stuff like click and subscribe? Like, should we gonna say that or
You know
no?
what? Yeah, because we need the support. Okay, we're putting
Yeah,
out.
we need the
Yeah,
support. So we're gonna definitely do what you see all of the people do when they're streaming live. So y'all can hit that click and subscribe button to get notifications on when we shall be streaming. Probably will be an everyday thing, but you'll see us. Just talking about what's going on in the CDL world. Yeah, this will get cleaned up later.
all right. All right. Well,
All right, but
yes.
yeah, I'm Latoya. I'm
Yeah,
Latoya, and that's Julian. And yeah, so y'all get to know me, get to know us rather.
definitely. So when you're looking for the best in trucking news, I mean, we're the only ones. I'll say this much is that you're going to get our interpretations, our personalities, and we are veterans in the CDL Class A trucking industry. So we're going to look forward to this. Now, let's go ahead and get it in. So we're coming across our first news article after mass layoffs. Furniture employee arrested for company thefts. As you can see, the individual is very relaxed in this
Yeah,
photo.
he looking
He,
like I did it.
I mean, yeah, he's very relaxed. I mean, I don't know if he knew he had his bail money, waiting for him because,
Right.
I've never been to jail, never been in a mug shot. But I just cannot imagine this level of, just relaxation while taking it. I mean, it's almost like he's saying, yeah, yeah, I'll be out in 30 seconds. Don't even worry about
Right.
it.
I'm
Right.
wondering when you still because theft, right? You have different levels of theft. I know you ain't never been arrested before, but
Right.
I wonder if he stole enough to where it be considered a felony. What do you
Well,
think?
maybe. Let's carry on. So, yeah, a former United Furniture worker is accused of stealing furniture and a company truck. See,
Wow.
this is you know what? This is pretty poor journalism, I guess, because it says he's arrested for company theft, but I guess not because you know what? We just answered your question. This is not poor journalism, and you said, do you think he stole enough, I guess, to be considered, what is it, grand larceny? I mean,
Right.
this is grand theft auto, right? I mean,
Yeah, well, it's bigger than furniture now. This is bigger than furniture. He's still in vehicles, company vehicles at that, or
right.
personal vehicles. So that's a whole different ball game. And just from our own expertise, we know we've seen drivers with felonies that are grand larceny. So I think he's probably going to fall in that category
I
for sure.
mean, I can only imagine so, but where would you think he would take a semi truck? I mean, I'm assuming it was a semi truck, but maybe it was maybe a pickup, like a Ford F-150 or something. But
I
I
think
mean,
so.
where did he think he was going to take this truck? Or you know what? I think they hit him with the trumped up charges. I really do. He
What do you think?
used. I think he used the company truck to steal the furniture, and he got caught with everything. And then they just said, you know what? We're going to hit you with the blammer. You're going to get all of these charges because I just don't see him stealing a company truck. It doesn't make.
Well, think
And
about
he's
it
in
though.
Mississippi on top of that. So where are you going to hide in Mississippi? But go ahead.
I would just say, I mean, if you're taking the furniture that's not yours, then anything involved with that is thievery. So him taking the company truck to take stolen goods, he stole the truck too. I would hit him with everything. He getting hit with with all of it for sure, for sure. And I'm pretty
Okay.
sure he had a box truck too. United Furniture. Have I heard of them before?
Yeah, you're right. It probably was a box truck, but I think they just trumped his charges up. But I mean, he put himself in that position. But anyway, you know, uh, according to Monroe County Sheriff's Department, the deputies arrested Audrey Garth, 37 of Wren. I guess that's how you pronounce it. Shout out to Brett Farr, right? Because he's out there getting those benefits
Don't you do
in
it.
Mississippi as well. Um,
We gonna talk about the news.
Braun's getting those benefits anyway.
Right.
Garth worked at United Furniture as a truck driver. According to the sheriff department, the company laid off all of its employees Monday evening. Oh, okay. So I see why Audrey took it personal, right? Because maybe they didn't give him an advance notice. I mean, there's no reason to steal, but maybe he justified it in his mind. I don't know.
Mm.
Okay. So yeah, this is a pretty bad example of employee theft. You know what? But let's move on because this one, I don't know if this is really truck driving news, Toya. I mean, it's a truck. It's a truck, but it doesn't really say it's Class A. So we gotta mosey on this one.
That is true.
Right, right. So what did you think about it? What did you think about Audrey and everything?
Well, I wanted to see a little bit more on the story to get details. Like, did he steal, like, was it patio furniture? Was it good quality furniture? Did he get any of it off? Like, if he didn't sell anything and they got all their furniture back, then I think he shouldn't be charged with a felony. I
Well, Well,
personally.
listen, they're gonna hit. Audrey had cornrows. He's getting a felony. All right, so yeah, he had a cornrows. The driver of the big rig, one lane over, might soon be one of these teenagers. So, this is the article that we found where they're saying, "Hey," and I mean, look at this young guy, man. What was the guy that played on Wonder Years? His best friend. What was Fred's best
Corky.
friend? What was his name?
Oh no, Corky was the brother with Down
Oh no,
syndrome.
I don't know. Listen, what?
It was,
No, 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 no. Wonder Years. You remember he had the friend with the skinny guy with the glasses? I don't remember his name. But
yes, I can see his face now because didn't he played on a movie or something too later
yeah,
on
yeah,
down.
but this looks like the guy. But anyway, as you can see, I mean, this guy looks like he might be it said he's 17 years old. Uh,
Oh,
what are your I mean, you being a truck driving recruiter and certain companies you can't even get into I don't even know if there's a company that will take you at 17 years. There's not, I don't believe, due
well,
to
what I
the DOT.
think
Uh-huh.
California, if they will for local drivers. Now, not
Right.
17, 18, so I take that back. I had an 18-year-old who was driving locally, but I don't know. That is a great question. If you are, especially in a 40-foot or greater size truck, a box truck maybe, but I guess for me, um I battle with that because I think it was something we were speaking on, like they were trying to incorporate classes for high schoolers to get
Mm-hmm.
their CDLs and stuff like that. So I'm thinking, if is it a good thing to introduce a young person to it because they're getting into the game early, which will allow them to be getting into a mature space early, or are they not mature enough to even gain that maturity at that age? So I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I mean, I remember being 17, driving cars and driving too fast for the speed limit, just being young and not having the full sense of reality when it comes to you're driving a vehicle and how fast you're going, what time of the day you're driving. And I can only imagine being 17 or 18 years old driving this big Volvo, and I mean, you literally, I mean, CDL is definitely tractor trailer. It's one of the most dangerous jobs, in America.
I
So
think
I don't know if I could trust a 17-year-old with that responsibility. But let's get to it. On the grounds of Williams Sport High School in Western Maryland, and hired a couple of drivers out there. Three 17-year-olds pile into a cab of a white Volvo truck, pens and pads in hand. They record the odometer, check for the warning lights, honk the horns, test the brakes. It's all a part of what's called a pre-trip inspection. In the real world, the process takes about 10 minutes, but today the students move slowly and methodically under the watchful eye of their instructor, Eric Young. This is $100,000 truck, Young says. If you blow the engine because of negligence, you're going to be looking for a new job. No, you're going to be looking for a new truck. Um, right.
and
I mean, listen, I'm 17 years old. I'm not looking for anything. You're going to be looking for a new truck because I'll go home to my mother and warm up a Tostino's pizza. I mean,
right.
seriously, the strong way, you know? Uh,
Right,
this,
right.
yeah, this fall for the first time, this introduction to trucking course is being offered at Williamsport High School as a part of the nationwide push to stir young drivers towards an industry in dire need of workers.
I
So,
mean, it's true.
mhm.
So, what do you feel about? Because I know you mentioned, okay, when you were 17, you were driving a car because you really were just trying to get to point A to point B. You weren't looking at you getting in that car as your lifestyle and something that you want to do as far as a career. So, if someone is career driven by 17, I think they're already at a certain level of maturity that maybe just a regular 17-year-old is not thinking of because they trying to chase girls, versus this person is trying to get behind the wheel to make some money. So, if the program definitely weeds out the good seeds, if you will, and that they're very strategic and informative on what they're teaching these young people, I think it might actually be a good idea, but it's not for everybody. It's not, because we know adults that aren't up to par. They shouldn't be driving these trucks either, but because of their age, they get that opportunity. So,
Well, very true. I mean, this article is a little confusing in a way because it's saying that you'll see one of these teenagers, but it's not really saying that these drivers or like the companies are going to hire 17 or 18 years old drivers. I mean, it looks like the school is saying, "Hey, we're just trying to introduce them to, the CDL Class A life per se." Um,
right, right,
but
right.
let's go a little deeper into this. The American Trucking Association projects that trucking companies will need to hire nearly 1.2 million drivers over the next decade. Part of the reason because of a rapidly aging workforce. The average age of long haul truck drivers is 46, according to the group. And when lifting heavy pallets of goods come as a part of the job, the pool of drivers become even smaller.
Mhm.
Another reason is lifestyle. Many long haul truckers say wages aren't high enough to make up for the endless days on the road away from their families. Turnover in the industry is high. As we being truck driver recruiters, we know that firsthand. There's some locations that have over 100% turnover rate.
Mm.
One True. One idea that's gaining traction is getting young drivers into the industry earlier. Traditionally, trucking has not been among the vocational programs offered at high schools, in part of because of the age restriction on interstate trucking. Federal law requires drivers of commercial vehicles to be at least 21 years old to cross state lines. That's where most of your money's at, says Joshua Hewitt, a 17-year-old at Williamsport High School who enrolled in the trucking class. You can make money in state, but overstate, going from West Coast to East Coast, that's where you make the most money.
And this is a 17-year-old saying that.
It's
Most
very true.
17-year-olds aren't thinking about us how they can make six figures. So he's already in a different mindset. I would respect him being in the truck more, feel more comfortable with him trying to get think about yourself, right? You are a very ambitious young man growing up. So if an opportunity presented itself for you back then, even with truck driving, I think you would have been a great candidate for that. But what if somebody said to you, "Oh, Julian, no, you were only 17. We can't introduce you to this." You might feel some type of way. So,
This
you
is
know,
very true. No, this
it
is true. No,
depends on the
no.
team.
And now we're getting into the nuts of the of the article. But now the federal government is plotting a 3-year apprentice program that will allow 18 to 20 years old to drive commercial vehicles on interstate routes, opening up career opportunities for high school graduates that didn't exist before. A growing number of high schools are looking to seize on that opportunity. At Williamsport High, the goal is to prepare students to sit for their commercial driver's license test when they turn 18. After that, they have one road skill course to take at a nearby community college before they attain their commercial license. By August, they could be drawing a six-figure salary. Listen, If you know anything that I know, if you can get a free license, it's not free. I mean, you earned it in taxpayers' money, but it didn't come out of your pocket, your personal pocket as a student to get a commercial driver's license. Oh yeah, definitely. So I would have signed up for that, no doubt about it.
And it sounds like it's keeping them still in interstate within the state until they turn of 21, and then they can go crossing the other state lines, but they get the opportunity to be on the highway while prior to 21. So I think that's, honestly, we need the drivers. And if starting that young, because think about what we run into. We have a lot of truck drivers who are, the recent graduates are so misinformed. Ain't nothing worse than a 35 to 40-year-old recent graduate who is trying to get in the game, and they don't understand the industry that they're in. And this is a mature adult. So someone who's younger, when you're introducing into that, they're more susceptible to it versus a grown adult trying to tell them how to get into a career. So yeah, I'm for it. I think I would be pro choice. Is that, is that
Yeah,
what?
listen, that definitely would be. I mean, that's fine, you know. But think about this though. You're a student, and you could definitely go into six figures early in life. And let's be honest, we just went through hyperinflation.
Right,
So six figures is really what the norm needs to be for most people now. I mean, because from what I'm understanding is now seven figures is the new bottom line, or high six figures is what the bottom
right.
line is for people to be considered well off now, because $100,000 is not how is that going to cut it now? We just went through hyperinflation,
So crazy.
especially in a place like Manhattan, New York City or LA or San Francisco. I mean, $100,000 a year is a joke, you know.
Right,
So this definitely puts a student on the path of earning a high salary early, and this can help the truck industry. Now, you know, I get it, because when you talk to older veteran drivers, they're like, "Hey, man, these young kids can't drive," but you're getting older, so what's going to happen? I mean, eventually you have to be replaced. You
right.
know,
And they used to be the young drivers. So how many drivers we
that's
know
for sure.
grandfathered in? They didn't even have, when they started driving, there wasn't even a thing called a CDL. So they too started in that space. So yeah, but the baton has to be handed over. Where did you say this was at? What
This
state?
is in this is in Maryland.
Maryland.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is Western Maryland. So
I'm
go ahead.
well, I'm thinking, Maryland is more metropolitan and a lot of
Not this area.
well, not that area.
Not this
Okay.
area. No,
Okay.
this is not. Yeah, this is not in the DMV area. No. Now,
Yeah, I'm in the
go ahead.
DMV area.
No, no, no. A teen's disinterest in the school drove the creation of the trucking program. Listen, if you are anybody, how can you be interested in school? And I'm sorry to be the one to say that, but I mean, again, they're just dumbing you down and teaching you how to be a robot. And skills is what pays the bills, not a diploma. So, if you're able to get a CDL out of high school, then more power to you. The idea for the trucking course at Williamsport High School originated with assistant principal Adam Perry a couple years ago, or it's Parry. Parry was talking with a group of sophomores, including Tucker, not gonna butcher his name, a personable farm kid who grown up around trucks and tractors, and that's where most of your CDL tractor drivers come from. Anyway, when you look at all the big companies like JB Hunt, and I can't name any right now. Who else we could say? Swift maybe, but JB Hunt. These companies come out of these farm community small towns, or they was founded by drivers who grew up on the farm, and they already knew how to drive heavy equipment. So I mean, it makes perfect sense that this student grew up around. He was a farm kid. He wasn't doing well academically. Don't blame him. So when that happens, you sit down and you have that discussion to figure out what's going on. And shout out to this assistant principal, because you know what? Most people out here are just robots, especially the school system. And I mean, if you want to read a good book called John Taylor Gatto, Dumbing Us Down, award-winning teacher who was basically kicked out of the profession because he researched and told the truth about the education system, which it was just really pointed out to make dumb people down, just to make you smart enough to push a button or pull a lever. And it was never meant for you to boss up and really amass riches or wealth for yourself. So shout out to anytime you see somebody like this guy who sits there and breaks the status quo, because we know many times you can just shuffle a student off and just say, hey, he's a disciplinary problem, let's write him up and put him in some type of detention. But the assistant principal saw the enthusiasm gap, and his friends weren't motivated by school. Who would be? Though they also were particularly excited about the vocational program on offer, including construction and hospitality. See, those construction is really good. It's a skill, right?
It's a skill.
Um,
It's not a mental thing, you know.
right. It's a
And that's
skill. Hospitality is a good thing too, because it teaches you how to deal with people. And again, every business is pretty much, there is no business at all. It's just people organized together. But he had a lunch. He had a hunch that trucking might be different. Williamsport sits along two major interstates, just minutes away from West Virginia and Pennsylvania. A trucker friend had told Pari of the tremendous demand for drivers. See what I'm saying? This guy kept his
this is
antennas
smart.
open.
Yeah, I like that.
He kept his antennas open. From his viewpoint, there was going to be 50 something thousand jobs just in this area alone in the next 5 to 10 years. So he ran the idea of trucking class past the student, because I'm not going to butcher his name. Yeah, I want to drive a truck, was the teenager's empathetic response. Um, he's now one of the 3 students enrolled in the inaugural class, which, the beginning of it. So teenagers are not yet driving interstate routes. Okay, so what do you think about this principal, man, who really, yeah.
Couple of things on that. So first of all, we know that with the school industry, or school is not conducive for success, unless you're being boxed into a particular genre of work, right? So it's very robotic. And teachers, I think, are actually, that not only are teachers programming students, but the teachers are programmed themselves, is right. So for this man to think outside of the box, first of all, to understand that not all students are academia, or excel
Right.
in
That's right.
those types of things. Some are more good with their hands. That's why construction is good. So there's other things that a person can do outside of extending their education and school wise and going to college. And I think that this person was brilliant to recognize that, hey, this person's not doing very well in the academic parts. He's not interested in it, but he still is someone that needs to have and be invested in to have an opportunity to be able to be successful in life. And then not only did he think about that or pay attention to that, he also listened to what someone else told him and paid attention to the surroundings to say, okay, we live in this area. And what kind of jobs or opportunities are going to be manifested in the next 10 years? How about I plug these students into that, since it's a need for it? Brilliant. It's genius. It's genius. So much respect for him for doing that, because most teachers just show up to get a paycheck. And but shout out to all the teachers either way, because we need somebody out there doing something. But yeah, I think it's a good idea. And they call it the Safe Driver Apprentice Pilot Program. So
Right.
yeah, it gives that thing that they really are stressing, safety, because that's one of the biggest things that needs to happen as a truck driver. So yeah, I'm gonna look more into that. So that's out of Maryland. I wonder any other states doing that.
Well, they did. They had a link, but I didn't want to click it to other states that are a growing number of high schools that are doing it. So we'll
Yeah,
we'll definitely go ahead.
most of the stuff I see is with like welding and things of that nature, right? But the CDL game, it is an industry that is one of the biggest industries out here, because it's commodity, so it's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. So I think this is good. I just thought about something too, where it says it projected by a certain amount of time that we would need to hire 1.5 million drivers over the next decade or something like that. I'm probably a little
Mhm.
wrong.
Yes.
So this is maybe a little off subject, but with them projecting that we need those drivers, with this whole thing of the autonomous car coming into play, it still
Mhm.
seems looks like we're kind of far removed from that happening anytime soon because they're still looking for more drivers to put in trucks versus someone not driving the trucks.
Yeah, very true. I think that's because the autonomous thing has not been worked out, right? Because the the couple of times I've seen it, it's been on interstates that are not, heavy traffic. It's not a heavy traffic interstate, so to say. So they don't know. I mean, it's all theory, right? In a sense, not all of it, but as far as the truck driver driving through Manhattan or something, good luck with that. Because again, when you walk through Manhattan, there are people that are just they're walking in front of cars, so I don't know how the truck is going to account for that, slamming on the brakes. I mean, I'm sure they have sensors and everything, but how are they going to account for people who are purposely trying to get hit by the truck? Because there's sick people out. Come on, man. They used to be in a grocery store and slipping on purpose. So you trying to tell me there's not one person that's going to say, you know what will happen if I threw myself in front of this truck?
And I ain't saying no names, but I know a lot of people from New York that is a hustle, okay, where they make
Right.
accidents happen for insurance claims. Like that's a known thing in New York.
Everybody has not everybody has a hustle, but come on, man. New York City is home of the hustlers. So when you put a person in a truck, I'm sorry, when you have an autonomous truck going through Manhattan, I just don't think there's ever going to be, I mean, I don't know, but I just don't think there's going to be an autonomous truck rolling through Manhattan during rush hour, through Times Square delivering what? No. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. It's just always going to be a driver in that truck. It sounds great. It sounds, George Jetson, because according, to people, they did the survey back in the day that we supposed to be in flying cars already, and it's like, oh, yeah.
Of the Jetsons has already came to pass maybe about a month or so ago or something.
Oh,
like
really?
That.
Okay.
Yeah, that official time has already passed. So yeah, I agree. So no, I think this is a good thing. I'm pro-choice on this. Yeah, they should be given the opportunity to get their CDL license.
Oh my goodness, Toya sounded like a liberal. She said she's pro-choice on this issue.
I'm pro-choice for them to be able to make their own decision.
He is pro-choice on this. It sounds like a liberal talking. I guess we know who you voted for. But anyway,
right.
Yeah. So, to date, half a dozen trucking companies have approved for the program. Those companies must first enroll experienced drivers who will supervise the apprentice, makes sense, before they bring on the apprentice drivers themselves. At DOT Foods, one of the participating companies, Transportation Director David Hess says he has no qualms about putting an 18 to 20-year-old on the interstate routes, provided they demonstrate they're capable. We're not going to put anybody on the road who can't handle the equipment and be safe, of course, Dave. You got immature 45-year-old people. Of course you do. So it's really on the person, their skills, their understanding of the DOT laws. When the apprenticeship program was first proposed, safety advocates, including the National Transportation Safety Board, were quick to raise red flags. Teenage drivers can be easily distracted, just like an old one can't be. They have higher crash rates. Of course they do. They're younger. Research has found young drivers are more likely to underestimate danger. The perils of the road is a topic of frequent discussion at Williamsport High. It is very dangerous going downhill sometimes. Your 80,000-pound vehicle, that could kill somebody. Listen, that's what we're talking about. Listen, we do have a truck driver shortage. We know that. And some people say there always will be. Why? Because of demand, people leaving the industry, people having to retire. But what other options do we really have here? I don't think we have any other options besides bringing in younger drivers, or unless they say, hey, let's train these people, and then we wait till they become 23, and then they don't have to do all the necessary steps to become a CDL driver. Because other than that, Yeah, I mean, to drive for a company, like maybe they just go through a refresher program right before they, right when they become 23 to get into the truck. Because other than that, I don't see any real solutions here to alleviate this problem.
Yeah. You mean the problem of the shortage of
The
drivers?
shortage, yeah, I don't see there's
And I
no.
think that because we have this shortage and this program that they're implementing, of course, everything is trial and error. They gotta use some statistics, right, on what they know, and then they also have to go with leverage based on being preventative or resolution ready. So again, yeah, a 17-year-old driver, they're immature mentally, they can be distracted, but what are we talking about here? When they're driving a personal vehicle, more likely they're with their friends, they're trying to get somewhere that's pertaining to them and their entertainment. This is something pertaining their money, their career. So I think that that takes a switch in the direction of how they go. And when you have mentors and people around you that are guiding you and assisting you, which is how life in school is supposed to be, then those are the things that will assist with the being preventative and resolution ready, so we don't have mistakes. But we have a shortage, and ultimately the drivers in the game now, they're getting older, so we do need to start addressing it, I think, early on and with the younger ages. Yeah, to make sure that we can try to get ahead of this shortage because we're behind on it. So yeah, I'm all for it.
Yeah, and I like what the positives they're putting out here. We're going to go through this, but a younger workforce may be well suited for the industry. There's some upsides to having younger people behind the wheel. Recent high school graduates typically have fewer family responsibilities. Their bodies have not yet endured the wear and tear of the working life, right? And they could bring fresh industry into an aging workforce. So you can sleep wherever you want, wherever inside of a truck, as long as you're at a truck stop or somewhere on the side of the road, whatever you want to look at night. I mean, these are very positive things to say because, as I said, just traveling and get to see places while doing your job is making money. Now, you think about this. That is an excellent pros because think about you being young and you get to drive around America eventually. You get to that point and you have no wife or no spouse, no kids. I mean, that would be the best time to go see America. This is the best time to do it. So I think the pros outweigh the cons. Because I think the bad drivers will weed themselves out, i.e., killing themselves or unfortunately killing somebody else. I mean, I mean, honestly, I'm not.
Passing the program. We'll just say that they'll put a stop to them before they even get to that point. Because again, we got
Right.
eyes on them early on in the game, so you can blacklist them early to say, "Nah, bro, you ain't gonna make it in this industry," and get them up out of here. So he said,
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Listen. This is a reality. This is a reality of the trucking industry. And on to our next article. Metro trucking students left high and dry after the school closes. Well, Toya, I don't know about you, but I'm not going to be left high and dry out of nothing, especially if I put my money down. And I don't know why this big shoe is to the right because it says final clearance. And guess what? These shoes are so ugly. They're $2.88. We're not even going to focus on that. And no wonder they're on clearance because let me tell you something. Those things will break your ankle if you get in them for $2.88.
they
Uh,
look better than Bobos. Remember
those
Bobos?
are bobos. Those are bobos. Metro truck driving students have been left high and dry after a Southwest Oklahoma City driving school shuts its doors. He quit on everybody. He got the money and quit on everybody. Let me tell you something right now. Let me tell you something right now. It is too close to Christmas to be playing. I'm sorry, with my $5,000.
I
Because
agree.
I'm pretty sure Mario Reyes, he has kids or he has somebody who cares about him that he could have did something different with that $5,000. And
Mm-mm-mm.
yeah, I'm trying to tell you right now. I mean, it just couldn't be me because I would get on LexisNexis and I will find his personal address and I will pull up at his house.
So I'm trying to figure. I wonder, is this an accredited school too? Because
Listen, I don't care if it's accredited, unaccredited. He has my money. I'm going to go to his personal home. I am so sorry. Said he
oh,
got everybody. The man said he got everybody. He got the money and quit on everybody. No, he did not. Not on me. Not on me. I want to know. Continuing on with the article, I want to know what happened with my money. I want to know how can I finish my CDL license. I want answers. You're talking to the wrong person, Mario.
sure is.
Because let me tell you something right now. The KF04 afternoon news, they're not gonna get your money back. I'm so sorry. Uh, you know, this guy right here is actually he's a dirtbag.
I'm
To
looking
take
now.
Oh yeah, he's a dirtbag, no doubt about it. You take people's money, like I mean, hard-earned money, and you just dip. I mean, no refund. I mean, it looks like he just left. Mario and the other students showed up at CDL on Monday, found a note on the door saying it was permanently closed. My question is, wait a minute. Some of us only need a couple of hours left to finish
Mm,
our testing. Uh, some people were supposed to test tomorrow. I was supposed to test Thursday. It sucks. You come in here, you devote this much time and effort, and it's stripped away from you. Listen, man, Emmett and Mario, I don't know what you plan on doing. Listen, if you're listening to this, you need to get on LexisNexis. You need to find that man's personal address. Pull. I don't care if it's his grandma's house. I don't care if it's his ex-wife. I don't care whose house it is. The daycare, you need to go. You need $5,000. Are you serious?
I don't understand how this happens though. I
What do
guess
you mean?
I mean, everybody's had a bamboozled moment in their life,
Right,
some big,
right.
some small. But you when you pay a company for a service and they don't
Mhm.
provide the service, you get your money back. So I don't go to sleep without resolution. So I don't understand. Like you said, it just I wouldn't get no sleep. We're gonna figure this one out, sir. So
Yeah.
have you tried to call this man or email him and they're not responding back to you? Like how does a person disappear like that? I'm looking at his website right now.
Did
Uh,
you? You pulled his website up, CDL University?
yeah, the Metro Truck Driving School, right? Is that what it's called, or what is it called?
No, Metro Truck. No, it's CD. No, it's called. No, this guy doesn't have a website. CDL University in Oklahoma City.
CDL
Yeah,
University.
there's no website for this guy. Are you
That
serious?
in the first place, they got bamboozled because they
What's
CDL.
that? This
Let
thing.
me find this.
This thing looks like Trump University.
Mm.
Right. This is that. I mean, come on.
Oh man,
This.
yeah, he had an LLC. Okay,
Right. 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 This is ridiculous. This guy's
okay.
a dirtbag. He's a dirtbag. I'm telling you. He just posted. He didn't even have the common courtesy of saying, "Hey, contact this number," or I had an emergency. He just posted. He posted a paper on the door. It just said it's permanently closed.
No, you can't do that if you have classes that are done. I'm looking at him right now. So he has 4.7 review stars. It does say permanently closed.
Toya said you can't just do that.
No, I just
And the man already did it. I mean, it's done, Toya. What do you mean you can't do that? The man did it.
he did. Well, listen, he has a whole building too. So there's a
Oh
it's
no,
not
he was renting that. He was renting that building.
yeah, but think about that. You had a whole building. How do you don't even finish out your classes? I
No,
would
you don't. No, you just take everybody's money and you run.
he
And
did
this
have
and this is this this is the society. Our society is in a decline, and you have these people out here that are purporting to be businessmen or businesswomen, entrepreneurs, and they're just almost like legal scam artists in a way. Because I mean, if he does this right, he can get off. He can just take his business and just file whatever chapter, and this man can just walk away with this whole situation. So
and
it's
not
very
even
unfortunate and very sad.
yeah, I'm looking his credentials up right now. Looks like he was on Instagram. He's on Facebook. See, let's see what I don't know if these people. Oh, he didn't took all his stuff off.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, this guy, he didn't right. He didn't change his phone number and everything. So it's just a yeah.
He took his Facebook page off. His Instagram is gone. I'm gonna call the number
Right.
when we recorded, and I'm gonna, find out. I'll see if I can get you guys' money back. Okay.
Well, listen, you know what? We should try to do that. We
I need
should.
to call the guy. Yeah, inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we should try to do that. Next article. Shout out to CDL Life. Man hired to manage trucking company sentenced to prison for embezzling 14 million
This was the
to
story.
fund lavish lifestyle. Listen, your boy done Bernie Madoff, a trucking company. Huh?
Let's talk about it. How did he do it?
Indiana man has been sentenced to federal prison after he was convicted in connection with a multi-year scheme to swindle millions of dollars from his employer. Daniel Fruits, ironically, his last name is Fruits. He has been sentenced to 6 years in prison after he previously pleaded guilty to wire fraud, money laundering charges, according to the U.S. attorney. Fruits was also sentenced to 3 years of probation following his release and ordered to pay over 14 million in restitution to his victims and over $14 million monthly judgment. Authority, we're gonna get into it. Authorities say that Fruits, who was tasked with managing and running Greenwood, an Indiana-based trucking company, secured transit on behalf of Kentucky-based entity Kubla Management Services LLC, engaged in a scheme for over 4.5 years to defraud the company out of more than 14 million. Man, let's go ahead and talk about it. Let's
First
go
of
ahead and
all,
talk about it.
he only got 6 years, and he got three of those. I mean, 6 years, and I think they said three was knocked off. Did I hear that correctly?
No, I didn't hear that 3 was knocked out. I already got the. Wait a minute. He was also sentenced to 3 years probation. No, he got the 6. So
Right.
what he
So
does,
it's
huh?
probation, meaning that you got off for 3 years. So you on
No, no,
probation.
no. He has the probation after he's released. So he has the 6, and then he has to do the 3 on probation. So he's going to the
Okay.
system for 9 years
Well,
estimate,
it
right?
said but it said following his release.
Right. So
Okay.
wait a minute. So let's get into it. This guy has been ordered to pay over $28 million. Now, how do you think Daniel Fruits is gonna pay $28 million back? There's no way. You know what? The court system is a joke. It's a joke.
He's gonna
It's a
have that
joke.
judgment
Listen,
on.
especially when you have the Wolf on Wall Street, Jordan Belfort. He's out here making millions of dollars again, and he still has not paid all those victims back. Come on, man.
Right, and you
Come
said
on.
28 million, and
Yeah, this guy's 47 years old. By the time he gets out, he's gonna be what, 53? And you think he's gonna be in his prime earning? But this guy's not LeBron James.
no, and I don't think he's gonna serve the whole time. To be honest with you, I don't think they're
Well,
gonna.
Fat Time allegedly you serve at least what, 90. You serve the majority of it. Like you serve with 90% allegedly. I don't know, but for this guy, it doesn't even matter when he gets out. Because I mean, listen, I hope he stashed some of that money away because he's never gonna be able to. I don't know what type of job. I only know one person that got jammed up pretty bad, but it was nowhere on this level. And they're cleaning up office buildings. Like under the table.
I
So,
personally want to say that
huh?
they being petty. I mean,
Say it
the amount.
again.
I personally want to say that they being petty because they look at the numbers. They said 14,339,252,004 cents.
Oh yeah, they hit him with the 4 pennies, right? The judge, listen, the judge broke out the penny rolls in the courtroom, right? The judge broke out the penny rolls in the courtroom and was just like, yeah, this is what's going on.
Oh
You
my
know,
god!
because I don't even understand where they got the 4 pennies from. Because if I would listen, I would have been extra petty in the courtroom. If I was Daniel, I would have broke out the 4 pennies right there and said, hey, you can go ahead and take this off the tab. Yeah, you can take this off the top right here. These 4 pennies, I got that in my pocket right here. Because again, you're not seeing 28 million. You're not gonna see that back from me.
Nah, but they're putting 14,270,000 on a judgment. So again, He can
Man, listen.
definitely not ever pay that and literally go about his
What?
business.
He could not ever, Toya, there is no way this man will pay. Let's Google it. Can we even find a picture? There is no way. And did they ever say, I'm trying, I wanted to, let's see. Okay. Did they ever say what type of lifestyle would this man live
Right.
in?
I want to see.
Right. Mr. Fruit stole an outrageous sum of money to fuel an extravagant lifestyle, concealing his crimes with years of lies and false documents, of course. Complex economic crimes such as these devastate the finances and securities of businesses and individuals. The serious prison sentence. This is a serious prison sentence. You're trying to tell me I can take 14 million and do 6 years?
That's what I'm saying. I'm just like, man, you got people out here that they're throwing a book at that don't do these things. And
14 million, and
you
he's
know
only
what?
gonna do 6 years.
And how much did Brett
Oh
Favre? How
man,
much
we went there with Brett. I think Brett Favre I think they just took a meal ticket. He just took a million.
that we know of?
Yeah,
That we
right.
that we know of. I'm trying
They
to
said
see.
Mr. Fruits put his personal greed ahead of the loyalty to a company that had entrusted him with his money and used the funds that were not his to finance a lavish lifestyle. Even after his arrest, the defendant still was intent on defrauding others for his personal gain. The FBI and our partners will continue to investigate those who engage in these typical types, of financial fraud and ensure they are held accountable. You know what? They never said what type of lavish lifestyle that he lived. I will, wait a minute. Actually, investigators learned that Fruits orchestrated a title wash scheme that fraudulently removed Ali Financial's lien from a $69,000 truck. Okay, I see what old boy was really in it to win it, wasn't he?
He was trying to get over like a fat rat.
I mean, this boy was getting over. I mean, not only did he take the 14 mil, he tried to buy a car and then knock Alliant finance off of it.
Did you see? Okay, do you see the list of things that he bought?
I
Whoa!
don't see that. Do you see it?
Oh, he
Oh,
got a horse
oh
and a
my
farm
goodness.
for
Wait a
eight
minute.
hundred.
We gotta, I'm glad, Toya, I really appreciate it. This boy bought, and we calling him a boy because my goodness, this boy bought real estate, of course, several vehicles, including two Ferraris and a Corvette. That boy bought two Ferraris.
He
Okay, he
bought
wasn't even he
Rolex
wasn't even playing around, huh?
No, he wasn't. He bought three Rolex watches for $90,467,000.
Oh my
I don't
what?
know how
Oh
much
my
a Rolex
goodness!
costs.
Farm equipment, including a horse trailer, a show horse, expensive jewelry, like you said, Rolex, firearms. Yeah, you got to get the blammers because when you take 14 million, you gotta be armed up. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to protect yourself. Private jet flights and high-end escort services. Now, why they had to put that man on Front Street like that?
Put him on there for how much he spent on the escorts
I,
on her.
I don't know. You tell me.
Let me see. I think I got that
Oh,
for
not Tricky Ricky. Oh no.
Ricky. He bought a lot of cars.
Tricky Ricky that came out with the high-end escort services. Oh man. And you know what? I guess it feels much better when you're not spending your own money, right?
Yeah,
You
basically.
done lie. He lied to the girl. He lying to everybody. He
He
taking
did.
everybody money. Like he just lying to everybody.
So
But
yeah, this article didn't hold on. He spent okay. No,
this
it was
boy this was a wild man.
wow. He spent a lot of money. Like this is
Of
get this
course he did.
itemized listings of the things that he bought. This doesn't make any sense.
Of course he did. This man bought two Ferraris. He bought one for the summer and one for the winter. And yeah, he was just acting a fool out here.
He was living definitely a lavish lifestyle, and the photo of the man too. I must say he's a looker. He
Really?
is
Oh
a
my
looker.
goodness. Well, listen, that's even worse because if you're and you know what, that probably helped him in his scam. You know what I'm saying? Like it probably really helped him in his whole scam, so to say, because if you're a scam artist, so to say, like this guy was essentially, and you have good looks, then people are more likely to believe you. That's just it's human nature. Huh?
And I think I actually seen a study of that. And I was like, ooh, I kind of think it's true. They put a photo up of these two guys, and the people, they was like, who would you trust more? And the guy that they trust more actually was a serial killer, and the other guy was, he was a regular guy. But everyone chose a serial killer, so because he was attractive, he was definitely attractive. So yeah, this guy here, I can definitely he has a more mature look, but he's not a bad looking guy. I can definitely see him swindling, buying some broads for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, this guy, yeah, he lived it up, and unfortunately, fortunately, he did get caught, and I hope he does all of the jail time. And
It's the
um,
advertisement in the middle for me.
I'm
Tell me,
sorry.
it's the advertisements in the middle for me. What randomness with a dog,
Yeah, right.
and whatever else that is in there.
And it's so convenient too. They don't have this guy's picture in the article, but we got this guy's pictures
In the article, right? Exactly. I had to go dig deep to find the brother who stole the $14 million, the over the million,
right. Isn't that
the
isn't
mattress.
that isn't that remarkable? Right? Isn't that remarkable? That's things that make you say, you remember
Hmm.
Arsenal Hall? Right.
They
Because
didn't
that
even tell us the amount of damage, collateral damage that the one guy with the from the furniture company. They didn't say, oh, he stole $2,000 worth of furniture. Man, that boy probably stole.
what you
He
think he
probably
saw?
stole $800 vanity set, and
What
they
you say? He stole the vanity set. He stole the vanity set from his grandma's house. So what you say the man who took
for
it?
his grandma. Right? He was trying to give a vanity set and
Oh
a
my
chest of drawer to his grandma, and they didn't put this man on blast. But the man who didn't stole all the
man,
furniture,
14 mil.
right?
That boy,
Buying
that boy out here doing NBA numbers, and
it's so
they ain't
crazy.
even put his picture up. Wait, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. All right. So another article from CDL Life: senseless loss of life. Tow truck driver sentenced to 50 years for fatal I-88 shooting of semi truck driver. Now, this guy looks angry in the mugshot. Actually, I mean, looked like he about to do something right here.
And what he got the and what face
I
too.
mean, he does. I mean, honestly, the brother looks like he's mad or whatever. I don't know what happened. A man found guilty in the 2017 fatal shooting of a semi truck driver in Oak Brook, Illinois,
I
was
heard about.
sentenced to prison on Monday. You know about Oak Brook? You probably done been. Have you been there before?
No, that's closer to Chicago, so that's in that area
Okay.
up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, ain't nothing to play around with out
Yeah,
there.
shout out to Chicago. Only been one time, but I can tell. I'm like, oh, this city is tough. This is a tough city, especially when I went to the United Center and it was nothing but liquor stores surrounded by the the Chicago Bulls Stadium. And I'm like, my goodness, is this where Michael Jordan used to play basketball? What
Right.
happened? But
Always so
anyway,
crazy to think
say it
about.
again.
It's
What is
just
it?
always crazy to think about. I think of Chicago Bulls, but then when you get to Chicago and you like, wait a minute, this isn't Oprah. What is it? Doesn't commute.
Right. It doesn't connect. Right. It doesn't
It
connect.
does not at all. Mm-mm,
Right. Former tow truck driver Anthony Tillman
mm.
uh, was 40, was sentenced to 50 years in prison for the
40
murder of Florida-based trucker Eduardo Munez, 43, according to news release from DuPage County State Attorney Robert Berlin. Tillman will be required to serve 100% of his sentence before he's eligible for parole. In May 2022, Tillman was convicted on one count of first degree murder following a 5-day long bench trial. The shooting occurred on April 21st, 2017 at approximately 4:50 p.m. as Munez was, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right, was operating a tractor trailer eastbound on I-88 Oak Brook, Illinois. According to Berlin, Munez Tillman became involved in some sort of road rage incident on the interstate. Listen, and that man done broke out the clapper because listen, let me tell you something. Road rage is a fake emotion. It really is because
It is.
one person can get cut off and go about their day. the next person can get cut off and say, "Hey, it's time to get the clapping." Now, what's the difference? It's the same. It's the same person getting cut off. I'm sorry, not the same person. It's the same action being done, but
But
two different responses.
well, if
Because
somebody, if you feel like somebody is, you almost about to, someone almost hit you, versus them just kind of.
no, I'm talking about the same action. I've had people literally pull out in front of me to the point where I had to slam on brakes to avoid hitting them. I still didn't have a road rage moment. I was just really grateful that I did not hit the person. Now I did pull up beside him and I was looking like, "What are you doing?" But it was never a sense of, you know what, screw you, or it was never this anger. I was just like, man, I can't believe people are just this horrible drivers out here. I mean, they was coming out of Dunkin' Donut, and it was two fat girls on top of that, and so God bless them. But anyway, it was two fat chicks. They was coming out of Dunkin' Donuts, and I was just like, no wonder this is going on. I'm sorry. I'm
Hey,
sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry.
nah, you
You're
good.
fat
I mean,
shaming. I'm sorry. I am. I am fat shaming. These fat girls cut me off that day. But go ahead. They almost killed your boy.
that's not fat shaming. That's acknowledgement of what you saw.
Yeah, that's true, right? This is true. This
Yes.
is true.
Listen, Eduardo Munez, I had to go look in the pipeline. Like, yo, man, that name sound familiar from Florida. Like one of our guys,
Yeah.
one of our drivers. I don't know.
Yeah. Right. So the shooting occurred at, I already read that. Shortly therefore, near the I-294 interchange, Tillman pulled his vehicle along the driver's side of Munez semi-trailer, pointed a handgun at Munez, and pulled the clapper, hitting Munez 3 times as he was driving. Following the shooting, Tillman exited the highway and sped away. Munez was able to safely pull off to the side of the interstate. He was later found in the cab of his truck suffering from gunshot wounds. Uh, Munez was transported to the hospital and later pronounced dead. That's very sad because, like I said, what? Like I was saying earlier, I read a lot of books on psychology, and what it is road rage is suppressed anger from from the person's life that they haven't dealt with, or they're repressing or avoiding or evading. So yeah, this is what goes on. So this is the reason why this person experienced this type. Because think about what kind of road rage, what can this truck driver possibly do to this man to make him pull out the yapper and get the no, there's nothing this man can do to make him pull out a gun and shoot on him unless he was protecting his life and the truck driver pulled out the yapper and he was about to shoot him first. But of course, that didn't happen. This man was on his job. There's no article. There's nothing in this article saying that the truck driver had the yapper on him. So this guy just, he was angry about something else in his life. Go ahead, Toy.
No, I was actually trying to make sure that I was understanding the story right. So the guy who got killed, he didn't have a gun at all. I thought I read that he did.
No, he
It
didn't
was
have a
the other
gun.
guy who just
Yeah.
came alongside him and just shot
They
him.
had road rage, and the guy pulled out the yapper. And there's
And
nothing that this guy could have did to, these anger and all these rage emotions. This is just suppressed. This guy has other problems in his life. Maybe he's in a bad marriage. He has a bad job. He had a bad childhood. Who knows? He's suppressing these issues. The wrong person cut this guy off that day, and the guy paid the price with his life. But again, there's no possible reason why you would kill somebody over, road rage. It's absolutely insane. Go ahead.
I'm wondering, did he, because they were driving, right? So I'm wondering, did he shoot this man at a stoplight, a stop sign, or while he was driving the semi truck? That's even
Well,
worse.
no, he said he pulled over. So the guy pulled over, and yeah, so I don't know why he pulled over.
You mean
You know,
the guy who got killed pulled over?
yeah, he pulled over. So, again, Anthony Tillman is in a complete display of disregard for public safety. Opened fire during rush hour on a crowded highway, murdered a man, and he had never simply because he could not control his anger. Come on, man. This guy
And
had to be,
truck
he had to
driver.
be pretty
You
bold,
got
huh?
you ain't even got a class A. You a class B driver out here messing with the class A driver, sir. You ought to be ashamed. Well, maybe he could have had a class A. He could have.
Uh-uh. Truck drivers have an extremely stressful job. I agree. For someone to violently take the life of a man who was trying to make an honest living is inexcusable. Very true. The senseless loss of life drastically changed the lives of the Eduardo family and friends who are now left with only the memories of Eduardo to see them through their days. Again, this is horrible. Yeah, and this guy definitely deserved fit. They should have gave him the cheer. I just don't. I'm not a fan of locking somebody up for 50 years. I believe in getting them out of there. You know, when you have definitely showed that you have a disregard for public life, you would kill somebody. Yeah, they just need to take your life. I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, I don't know you get in trouble for saying something like that on YouTube, but again,
Want to say, I'm wondering too, though, like, again, where is in a person's mind? Like you said, it was something else more likely festering at this person, and he took it out on the man
right.
who killed. But I wonder, did he say anything like, man, I was upset, or what happened, bro, for you to just go that far? Where you want
There's
to take
nothing that can go that far. Again, anger is a fake emotion.
true.
This is a fake emotion. And again, when you allowed yourself to become angry because there is nothing that somebody can do to make you shoot and kill them when they're driving. Unless this guy was trying to, again, kill him, murder him with the semi truck, which this is not the case. The guy pulled over and he shot him because he was so angry or whatever happened while they was driving. There's no reason for that. So again, like I was saying, deep psychology, when somebody is anger is a racket, meaning that this guy is suppressing his real emotion for whatever he really feels. He's mad about something else. He took it out on this guy, and it wasn't even the road rage was an excuse to get angry about what he was mad about, and he killed this guy. I mean, that's simply what happened with this. And again, I'm not a proponent of somebody receiving 50 years. I mean, this guy, what was he, 37? So he'll get out if he's 87? I just think you just take him out, man. Just give him lethal injection or electric chair, or like South Carolina, you just line him up and shoot him down. Yeah, South Carolina, we don't play that. We'll just take you out with a rifle. Huh?
That's really in effect still.
Yeah. They just bring it back. You just shoot them down with a rifle with the firing squad. Take them out.
If that's not old school, I don't know what
Yes, it's the cheapest way to take them out, man. Besides strangling somebody, right? I think they should just let you strangle a person. Be honest with you. I'm being honest with you. Like, that's the cheapest way to like take somebody out, just strangle them to death.
It's for a person to strangle someone. I think when strangulation is personal.
It is personal.
Yeah, it's too personal. So you're gonna be taking out other stuff.
Trust me. There has to be a parole officer. I'm sorry, correction officer that's just frustrated. Because again, think about it. Those little women at the DMV that be all angry, they don't start out like that, right? On day one, they're happy. They're trying to help people. Then on day 50, oh, they're messed up. Yeah, they're messed up. So again, there's a correction officer that started off all friendly, like, yeah, I'm gonna try to build a relationship with the inmates. Man, on day 50, man, that guy's probably beating inmates up, breaking their ribs and everything. Get that guy to strangle this guy to death and save the state money. Because again, I'm so sorry. There is no way that you should sentence anybody to 50 years. Like, just, this guy can't look at this guy's face. This guy's angry. You know what? I don't know if he's angry he got caught, because let's be honest about
body. Let's be real. Would you be smiling if you caught a body?
Would I be smiling if I caught a body?
Yeah.
He wanted to catch the body. Why is he not smiling? I mean, obviously he wanted to do this. The man wanted to kill this guy. It wasn't an accident. It wasn't like, hey, man, my gun got stuck and I waved it out the window. No, this guy.
I mean, we ain't talked to this man, but I'm pretty sure if he can go back, he probably wouldn't do that shit.
I don't believe that. Nah, does this look like this is our first time shooting at somebody? No, it does not. This guy has shot at somebody. Listen, for the fact that he shot at somebody on a busy, they said it was during rush hour. That says all we need to know about this guy. He was reckless to think he was gonna get away with that. I see if he was driving the spy car where you can hit the button and the license plate flips, and then you got another right, but you got you're shooting people in broad daylight, and your license plate is out there. Like, what do you think is gonna happen?
Right.
Huh?
And God
In
forbid
a tow truck, right? What kind of shit? You can't even get on a high speed chase and run from the police in a tow truck. Like, what?
this
I mean,
brother
think
had a
about how
Bronco
stupid
on
this
the
guy,
back.
huh?
He pulling a car and everything, probably.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it was the tow truck with the red key on the like. This guy, so listen, take him out. Just get rid of him. And I know they're probably family members. Like, no, don't do that. We love him. Nah, man, this guy can't be. You're partly responsible. He cannot be rehabilitated if you're just shooting people for people you never met. Like, I'm old school, so listen.
Know that, man. God, you took a man like that. You didn't even know his name.
Right, I'm old school, so listen. If you want to, you do something to somebody. Hey, man, get out the car. Tell them let's knuckle up right quick. But there's just no way to get the gun out and just shoot at a man that you don't even know. But I tell you what, that is the end of trending trucking news. Toya, I don't know if you want to wrap us up with any
Extra. So we do want to thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure you check us out at www.truckerjobusa and call that 800 number. We definitely got some work for you. 800-887-3010. You want to speak to me, you can ask for Latoya. You can ask for Julian. He probably won't be available, but you can get with me, okay? And good. I'm just joking. Julian incognito on the phone. You know what I mean? But you will
right.
be talking with the best if you can get him on the phone. You know what I'm saying? But definitely can get one of our experts. You can speak to us. We have, we got that work for you. We work with many different trucking companies throughout the entire 48. I was going to say continental states. Is that right?
Yeah, anywhere in America, we can get you in the seat.
Anywhere in
Right.
America,
If you got the experience, okay. If you got the
yes,
experience, man.
yeah, you just have to have the CDL. So we work with new
Right.
drivers as well, experienced drivers. That's even better. But definitely check us out. So we'll see y'all. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Latoya. That's Julian. We out.